This is James Lupton, and I am delighted to join once again with Frankie Stringer. Frankie, how are you, mate?
I'm good, James. How are you?
Yeah, all good. Thank you, mate. All good. I want to get you on today. We're going to talk about a friend of yours, Tony Bellew. Um,
Yeah.
Big news surrounding Tony as he's heading into the jungle for I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. First of all, before we get into that part, tell me talk about Tony and your relationship with Tony.
I've known Tony since I was a kid. I was there when he won at Goodison his WBC belt, so I'm very close. He's been in the gym since I was a kid. He used to train with Mick McAllister, who I was at. He was our head coach years ago, so he was always in the gym. I was always around him. I went to all his fights, so he's a close friend of mine.
Not just a close friend, he's somebody that you looked up to as well in the boxing world, and somebody who inspired you to, progress in your career as well. Am I right?
Yeah, 100%. They're the ones you do look up to because I've been that close to them, and I'm training alongside them when I was a kid. The Smiths, Bellew, so the role models to me.
Absolutely, and obviously Tony reached the top of the tree there in boxing and got his world title. And like you say, you was there at Goodison Park to see him beat Makabu that night, and it was an emotional night for Tony. I can imagine for all the rest of the gym as well, because the gym's you like family.
Yeah, 100%. It was a boss thing to see. It was a very good thing, and I'm there looking, thinking this is what I want to do this, and I want to do what he's doing. So it's a good person to look up to.
No, absolutely. Obviously, he's now retired from fighting in the ring. As I mentioned, he's now in the jungle. I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here out in Australia. First of all, how do you think he'll deal with that situation? Sleeping on these little hammock bunk bed type things and whatever else.
I can be good with it. When you go away with England and all that, your hotels aren't really that good. So he would have been used to it back in the day, going all around the world. So I reckon he'll do well in it. Good on him.
In terms of Tony's personality, a lot of boxing fans feel he's quite Marmite, either love him or you hate him. Do you think that
Yeah.
means he's well suited to I'm a Celebrity and this TV reality show type of thing?
I reckon he'll be good in it. I reckon people will probably be people's favourite in there, just the way he is and the way he acts. So I'm looking forward to watching it myself.
Do you think he will win the public over who may not be his biggest fan at the minute and you'll see the real Tony Bellew out there?
Yeah, I reckon people will see because you're seeing him in there every day, so you know his personality, not just in and out of the ring and on interviews the way he is with the boxing world, but you'll see a closer look to him, and I think they will get to like him.
From your experience, what is Tony like? What is the real Tony Bellew away from the cameras? What is he like in terms of him being at home, being in the gym, etc., away from the limelight?
Just one of us. He's one of us, and he's grew up in this gym all around everyone. So people might look at him a different way, just the way he is at the cameras and that. But sometimes you've got to be like that to earn your money and be big, go big in the sport. So, but if you met him face to face and you're seeing him and you're with him day in day out, your opinion will change on him because he's a boss fella.
And in terms of, out in the jungle, we know they throw things at you, challenges, bush tucker trials. How will he cope with all that? Will he get stuck right into all of them? Has he got any fears? Do you know any heights, snakes, spiders, anything like that at all?
I don't know. I do not have a clue, but I can imagine him to be all right because he gets in with people and gets punched in the face. So a few spiders. But saying that, I probably wouldn't do it, and I get punched in the face. So I don't know. Could not tell you.
A few spiders or eating some kangaroo bollocks.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that.
Do you commend Tony for going into this? Because obviously he's putting himself back out in the public eye, and it's not always the best place to be. Sometimes, there are always people there who are gonna throw hate, trolls, etc. online. So there's always going to be people who will put a negative spin on everything. Does it take some sort of bravery almost to put yourself out there? People will say, yeah, he's getting paid to do this, etc. It's business, but you still got to have the bollocks to go out
Yeah.
there and do it in the first place.
I just think the way he is, he won't be bothered about what people think, and the way he is, just he won't care about that, and he shouldn't care, because you always get these trolls and people who are negative and throwing all shite at you. But I don't think he'll care about it, and good on him, I think, to be honest.
We've seen other boxers previously go on I'm a Celebrity, Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank, Joe Bugner, to name a few there. With Tony, you mentioned earlier on, you feel that Tony will be the people's favourite when he's in there. I see the real him and the real character that he is. Do you think Tony's got a real shot of winning this?
I do. I think people will. People who don't like him, I think if they get to watch it, I think they will change their opinion on him, because he's a funny fella, and he's a boss fella. So I reckon he could do well in it. Yeah.
And just the last question, Frankie. Obviously, being a fighter, you know yourself as well, competitiveness, always wanting to win, that championship mindset. Will Tony go into this situation and want to win? Will he be disappointed if he comes out not the winner?
100%. I would be, and the way I know he is a competitive lad, so you will want to win, and you will want to win the prizes and win the food for your team and so on. So I think he will be competitive in there.
You mentioned that he'll want to push himself in all the tasks and win the food and whatever else. Does that make him the perfect campmate for all the others in there as well? Somebody who is going to want to go and get there and make sure they do bring back the bacon as such.
That's what you need in there. You're sitting there starving, getting bit by mosquitoes and whatsoever much. So you want to be eating food, and he's grew up all his life wanting to win, and he has. So I think he will have that winning mentality in there, and the teammates will like him.
If they don't win all these trials and he does go hungry, we're going to see him back at light heavy again, skinny Tony again.
Not half. He was. I don't know how he made that weight, considering how he looked at Cruiser to his last fight at light heavy. His face was all, but I reckon he will do well in it, to be honest.
No, perfect. And it was certainly be entertaining value for everyone watching as well. Frankie, thank you very much for joining me today, just for a little quick chat on Tony there. We hope he does well and be watching as well.
Yeah, nice one, James.